What is up, everyone? Welcome back. Today we have Bitcoin rallying to $69,979, and it has been a bullish weekend for Bitcoin and crypto. We also have the SPY showing a little bounce this morning, setting at 546, and the Qs also showing a little bounce at 466. But why is Bitcoin and crypto rallying? Well, we had the Bitcoin conference this weekend, and Donald Trump spoke there as well as many others, and this sent the price of Bitcoin higher and boosting Ethereum, XRP, and crypto. So we are going to get into crypto. But first, I wanted to take a look at stocks and some ETFs as well as commodities. All right, guys, if that sounds good to you, you know what to do. Be sure to hit the like button and be sure to subscribe if you want to see more. And of course, if you find value in this content, feel free to share it with others. All right, guys, so what is going on in the markets right now? Well, what we are starting to see is a clear rotation out of the big tech companies and into the other indices and sectors, such as the small cap stocks. This is the IWM, and this is the daily chart, but I zoomed out here a little bit just to give you a better visual of what is happening here. We had this area, long area of accumulation, and we broke out of that. We mentioned that here several times on this channel. Once we broke that level, we thought we were going to see a bounce, and we definitely have seen it here in the past couple of weeks. The IWM sitting at 224. And I just wanted to bring up this chart here, which is a Wyckoff chart that shows these phases where you start to see these accumulation patterns where we move sideways. We get a false break to the downside, come back up, retest that, and then we have those bullish moves and consolidations before moving higher. And this is very similar to what we have seen not only on the IWM but also Bitcoin. And for the IWM, where are we? Well, it appears that we are starting to enter into this wave 3 where everyone starts to get really excited and things start to move really fast. Then typically you do see a bit of a pullback and then another wave higher. And so I think that is where we are headed eventually, probably within the next year or so. However, it does seem like we are down here just starting this third, well, it's really wave 3, but second leg up. And so that is what I do believe we are starting to see for risk on assets as far as Bitcoin goes. Well, this here appears to be a big flag pattern, and if we break out of this and this access support, then I do think you are going to see Bitcoin going much higher, and that looks like it could happen very soon. Um, so I wanted to bring up some stocks we could look at if you wanted to gain exposure to the crypto markets, and one of those is Coinbase sitting at 243. And this is a good way to gain exposure to crypto and get that those big moves that we see in a lot of the crypto markets without actually buying crypto itself. It's like buying the picks and shovels, as in the fact that Coinbase uh, is obviously a custodian of crypto and an exchange. And so that is one way to get exposure. Right now, sitting at 243, and we have been in this zone here where we originally said this would be a potential take profit zone when we were much lower. However, I do suspect that Coinbase will go up and eventually uh, find this resistance and flip it into support before moving higher. Another way to gain exposure to crypto is to buy one of the ETFs, and this is BKCH. So this is a global blockchain ETF, and so this consists of many different companies that have to do with blockchain technology, and there's several crypto miners in there. They also have exposure to Coinbase and some other names, but that is currently sitting at 53.66, and it looks like we are about to see a little bounce here as the RSIs are reset on the daily. I do think you're going to start to see a lot of these small cap and cryptos really begin to move. Um, I think that the next month or so is about all the time that we may have left to get in on this rally before things really get interesting and start taking off. I do think that we could potentially see some pullbacks here in the middle of the month if the stock market does move lower. This could potentially be a dead cat bounce on the stock market and things could move lower. I do think that is a real possibility, but I think that would be very short lived, probably only lasting maybe just a couple of weeks. We do know that August does tend to show some signs of weakness in tech, and generally speaking, the summertime is a little weak for Bitcoin and crypto, but typically we do know that fall gets very interesting and you can start to see those big moves upwards during September, October, November, and into December. I do suspect the next couple of months are going to be very bullish for some of these small cap stocks and crypto. Another uh, crypto related stock that I wanted to point out is TeraWolf, and this one came up across my radar a couple weeks ago. This is a Bitcoin miner currently sitting at 427, and this popped on my radar whenever this breakout happened here, somewhere around this level. And of course, it went higher. But the reason I wanted to bring this one up, I thought this was very interesting. You had this long sideways action basing accumulation, a series of higher lows, and then we started moving higher, sitting in a series of uh, higher highs and higher lows. Really, this was ranging sideways here, getting tighter, and once that broke out, well, it was explosive. And the reason I wanted to point this one out is we've got our little Fibonacci chart up here, and this has retraced down to the 382, which in bullish markets generally act as support. So we are currently sitting at a level that could be a good place to begin building a position or getting in on this stock. And this isn't a long-term investment. This is something that I would look to hold for the remainder of this bull cycle before I began taking profits and getting out. I don't recommend these type of stocks for long-term investments, but they are great for swing traders and day traders to really make those um, outstanding returns. This is one of those that you could potentially do something like a 3 to 5x or more during this bull run. If it did come down a bit lower, well, I wouldn't be afraid to get in there. We do have this line here that was acting as resistance, and that should act as support. So really anywhere down here in this level down to around $3 should be a good entry, but I do think we could see a little bounce here on the short-term time frames in the next couple of days. So day traders will be looking to potentially capitalize on that. Another stock I wanted to bring up is Tesla. Tesla has had absolutely amazing run here a few weeks ago and is pulling back into our first potential area where we may want to start getting in and building a position if we missed that run on Tesla. Currently sitting at the 382, or bouncing out of that this morning actually, now sitting at 231. So I think this is an interesting zone for Tesla. If the stock market did continue to sell off, I do think you will see Tesla come down and potentially come down to around this 200 to 205 level, or potentially if it did go down lower to the 618, down around $190, I think that would be potentially a great entry for Tesla, and maybe look to uh, use this previous resistance and turn that into support, and then it could move much higher. So I'm sure a lot of the Tesla fans out there are getting excited. I also wanted to bring up the gold chart. So gold has been looking pretty bullish here the last couple of weeks. We have seen a little pullback, and we are setting up for a nice little bounce here on gold. It's a potential that we may go up and retest those all-time highs that we saw last week. And so I do think that we may be moving higher for gold. If you're interested in buying stocks, ETFs, gold, or crypto, you can do so over on Robinhood. Right now, Robinhood offers up to a 1% boost plus 8 times the national savings rate. It also allows you to begin investing and building your portfolio with just as little as $1, and they allow you to invest in stocks, options, ETFs, and trade commission free. So if you're interested in investing or trading, there is a link down in the description. They also allow you to buy Bitcoin, Ethereum, Doge, as well as gold. So if you are interested, you can click that link and gain access and get your one free stock. And they do allow you to buy fractional shares, which is nice. So if a stock price is, say, $900, well, you can buy a fractional share with whatever money that you do put in. So that is one advantage to Robinhood. But let's move on to crypto and what is going on with Bitcoin. So this is the heat liquidation map, and we do have this area of liquidity setting around that $72,500 level. And we know that the markets like to move and go grab that liquidity. So I do think that we are going to at least probably go up and retest those all-time highs here probably this week. And if we go back to the chart of Bitcoin, this is on the 4-hour. Let's zoom out to the daily chart to understand where we are at. And I'm going to have to reload that chart. So give me just 1 second here, guys. But I will do that now, because what I wanted to show you here, um, this chart right here, is that if we do get above these all-time highs and break this line of resistance, and then that acts as support, well, I think you are going much higher. And one way we can take a look at that is we can just take a measurement here uh, off this previous run just to these lows here on our current range, and we can take that line and then move it up here, and that also gives us a target of up to around that $90,000 level. So I do think that could be coming very soon for Bitcoin. So that is bullish. What else is going on in crypto? Well, Bitcoin LFG posted this over on Twitter, and I just realized that name. That's pretty funny. But nevertheless, they put breaking Jim Cramer turns bearish on Bitcoin, and we know what happens. Anytime this man turns bullish or bearish on any assets, they typically go the opposite way. So if he is bearish, then we should be bullish. And I just wanted to play this clip over here, posted by Bitcoin Magazine. This is Donald Trump speaking this weekend. So I'm going to let this play for just a minute here.
This afternoon, I'm laying out my plan to ensure that the United States will be the crypto capital of the planet and the Bitcoin superpower of the world, and we'll get it done. If crypto is going to define the future, I want to be mined, minted, and made in the USA. It's going to be. It's not going to be made anywhere else. And if Bitcoin is going to the moon, as we say, it's going to the moon, I want America to be the nation that leads the way. And that's what's going to happen. No, you're going to be very happy with me. You're going to be so happy. You're going to say he's the greatest guy. That's why I'm proud to be the first major party nominee in American history to accept donations in Bitcoin and crypto. And they've made a lot of them, I might tell you, and I appreciate it. Since we made that announcement on May 21st, we have already raised $25 million, much of it in Bitcoin, crypto, and others that are very, very good also. But as you know, our excitement about the future of Bitcoin and crypto could not be more difficult from the approach of our opponents. Can't be, look, our opponents have gone a difficult route. They're going old-fashioned stuff. We're going to take it right down the middle. We are so different from anybody else in terms of a campaign. First of all, we understand it. They don't understand it. They are blocking your path. They're blocking your way. But I've made it a lot easier for you because the SEC has been very, very tough on you. And now they see that you've embraced me. All of a sudden, people that were under investigation, they're being let go. They're saying, oh, no, we don't want to do that. We love crypto. Let me tell you, if they win this election, every one of you will be gone. They will be vicious. They will be ruthless. They will do things that you wouldn't believe. But right now, because of me, they're leaving you alone. So please say thank you, President Trump. Thank you very much.
So, regardless of your political views, I think this is very bullish for crypto, and crypto obviously reacted very well over the weekend. If we go back to the Bitcoin chart and we do zoom in back on the 4-hour, well, you can see what happened over the weekend when Trump was speaking. There was a lot of anticipation, and crypto moved up to right around $68,400. There was a little bit of weakness. Sorry, that was last week. This is the actual pump here I was talking about. Yeah, $69,000. And then there was a little bit of weakness and a little sell-off there for a couple of hours. And now it is moving higher. So that is one thing I did want to point out. And we also are starting to see a lot of these altcoins show a lot of strength relative to the price of Bitcoin. We have Ethereum sitting at 33.17 this morning. And I mentioned that if we did come down into this box and that acted as support, I thought that would be a great spot entry for Ethereum. I do think Ethereum is moving much higher. I don't necessarily like to predict, but I do think that a realistic target for Ethereum could be $7,000 to $10,000. 7,000 being the conservative number, and 10,000 being still a realistic number. I've heard higher numbers. I don't know that it's going a lot higher than that, but there is a possibility. Another chart I want to bring up, and this is the altcoin that I think will do very well this crypto season. This is Solana, setting at 189, and Solana has been showing a lot of strength relative to Bitcoin and the other altcoins. I do think that if you are looking for to get into crypto and want to buy, potentially a layer one, you're not sure where to start, I think this is the place to be. A lot of action has been taking place on Solana, and a lot of the Solana ecosystem has been moving. It's cheaper than Ethereum to move around. So whenever people begin trading on these different exchanges and platforms, well, Solana is what a lot of people are going to because of the lower gas fees. And so I do think that we see Solana move much higher here. I definitely think you could see a potential price of $600 to $800, and even much higher, maybe up over $1,000 this crypto cycle. Again, a lot of these altcoins, I don't use these as long-term investments, although you could. I do think Solana and Ethereum, as well as Bitcoin, will be good long-term. But I do plan to take profits at the end of this bull run and reconsolidate and get ready for the next cycle. But I still think that is probably about a year away. And I do think that if Bitcoin breaks the all-time highs, well, we are going to see Solana break this previous high here around $200 and go up to this zone of around 225 to 250 very soon. I do think that could be happening in just a few weeks here for Solana. Another layer one that I like is Chainlink. Chainlink setting at 1376 this morning. And really, I think this is a great spot entry for any investor that's looking to get in on crypto if you haven't done so already. I do think this is a great potential place to be building a position for this cycle. I'm sure a lot of traders will be looking to trade up to this next level, potentially taking profits up here. And I do think that we'll probably be back up there in just a matter of a couple of weeks. Once these things get moving, they move very fast. If you're interested in buying Bitcoin, Ethereum, Solana, Chainlink, and many more, you can do so over at iTrust Capital. iTrust Capital allows you to buy, sell, and trade crypto, gold, and silver 24/7 with low cost and no monthly fee in a tax advantage IRA. I use iTrust Capital, and if you're interested, there is a link down below in the description, and they have over 5,000 plus 5-star reviews on Google. All right, guys, excuse me 1 second. That was a lot of information, but nevertheless, it is Monday. I do think that the markets are looking bullish this week. I do think there is going to be a lot of action. We have earnings coming up this week. We have big tech coming out. So I do think that we may rally into those earnings, and then we may possibly see a pullback in the short term, such as a sell the news event. I think that's possible. Um, but nevertheless, I do think here in the coming months, things are going to get very interesting for Bitcoin, crypto, as well as some of these other stocks. I do think that money has begun rotating out of some of these big cap stocks, although I do think they go higher as well. I think that the wise investors will be looking to make bigger returns in other areas. I do see uh, a lot of opportunity in value stocks as well as some mid caps and then the small caps more for probably investors that are and traders that are seasoned to get those outperforming gains. All right, guys, if you like the video, be sure to hit the like button. And if you want to see more, be sure to subscribe. Also, drop a comment down below. And you can follow me over at X at Mind of Financier. I am Mind of the Financier on Instagram, Facebook, and YouTube. But over here on X is where I post anything that I see that has to do with the markets, including stocks, commodities, and crypto. All right, guys, until next time, take care, have a great day, be legendary, and peace out.